Praise be to God, children. Good morning. So, in the previous class, we started our 10th chapter, that is Catholic Church and Healthcare. Now, let's move on with that. We have seen till the church ministry to the sick and feast of progress. We learned about the important events that the health ministry has taken with the help of Catholic Church. Now, let's see the next one. Care for the sick in Indian Church. The Holy House of Mercy, established by Portuguese missionaries in 1513 at Kochi and Goa, was modelled after Santa Casa de Misericordia in Lisbon. In 1522, Mercy House at Kochi was developed with more facilities. In 1527, this institution became a hospital called Cruz de Cochin. It is believed to be the first Catholic hospital in India. See, in the previous chapter, we were learning about the educational system and Latin Catholic Church in Kerala. But this is about our whole nation. So, which was the first Catholic hospital in India? That was in Kochi, right? That is Cruz de Cochin. Earlier, in 1531, it was established by Portuguese missionaries in the name the Holy House of Mercy. As I had told you in the previous class, we didn't have a hospital-like thing during that times because we didn't have much qualified doctors or nurses. But gradually, after 1513, that is in 1527, this institution, it was an institution for poor, for the sick. Okay. But in 1527, this institution became an hospital and the name was changed to Cruz de Cochin. And this is believed to be the first Catholic hospital in India. It is believed that in 1514, at the request of Portuguese governor Alfonso de Albuquerque, a hospital was constructed at Kochi. Healing ministry rendered by missionaries who resided at Kochi and Malabar is invaluable. So, it is also believed that, we don't have a clear picture of that. But it is believed that in 1514, at the request of Portuguese governor Alfonso de Albuquerque, a hospital was constructed at Kochi. And the healing ministry was developed by the invaluable efforts of the residents in Kochi and Malabar. Father Henry S.J. opened a home for sick at Punnagayil in Tirunelveli. It is in Tamil Nadu. Later on, there was a considerable growth in this sector. See, this is a list of medical facilities in India. See, hospital 788, dispensaries 2683, rehabilitation centers 115, mental hospitals 191, hospitals for persons with special needs 86, multi-speciality special hospitals 234, medical centers 202 and medical colleges 8. It is noteworthy that 85% of these institutions function in rural areas. More than 350 health institutions are run by other Christian churches. See, these are the medical facilities in India and 85% of them are in rural areas. Actually, it is a thing to be appreciated because in urban areas, if we even have one hospital, the people who live there is actually able to go there. But in rural areas, they need to travel a lot. They may be poor. They don't have the facilities to come here. And many deaths had occurred because lack of medical facilities in rural areas. So here, 85% of the Catholic Church institutions were in rural areas. And next, the church in Kerala and service for the sick. After independence of India, healing ministry became strong in Kerala. So it is only after the independence, that is after 1947, the healing ministry became strong in Kerala, even though the first institution was established in Kochi. When cholera, tuberculosis, smallpox and malaria took many lives, people did not get necessary medical aid. See, at those times, cholera, tuberculosis, smallpox, and malaria were deadly diseases because we didn't have much medical facilities. So many lives have been taken by these diseases. But now we know cholera has been eradicated. Tuberculosis, we have the vaccine, so we are safe. The smallpox has been eradicated from India. And malaria is not as deadly as it was earlier. We have medicines for that. At this time, the church rendered invaluable service to the poor people. Filled with love of Christ, the church provided healing ministry through human touch and care. See, this is the difference between other hospitals and the hospitals run by Catholic Church. What is that? Other hospitals are run for profit, but the hospitals run by the church, they provided healing ministry through human touch, care, and also love. They actually did it for not for a purpose of profit, but they did it for their self satisfaction. That is by giving them love, giving them a human touch, giving them a care. That was all important. In those days, the average lifespan of a person was 40 years. See, can you just imagine what is the lifespan of people nowadays? It's almost 70. But we know there are many. We too have our grandparents at home who are much elder than that. But when we see to the average lifespan of people in India is now 70 to 75 years of age. See, at those time the lifespan of a person was 40 years. That means the people started to die before that age. But you may be surprised, right? You might have heard your parents or grandparents saying that the older people had more lifespan. It is because if they are not affected by any diseases, then they are safe. That is, at those times we didn't have the diseases like diabetes or cholesterol or BP. All these are actually lifestyle diseases apart from the pathology. See, all these started increasing nowadays because of our lifestyle. So at those times we didn't have those lifestyle diseases. So the lifespan of the people increased. But if they got affected by any of the diseases like cholera or tuberculosis or smallpox, then it becomes deadly. That's why the lifespan is said as 40 years. This was due to the absence of hospitals, doctors, transport communication, negative factors like accidents, violence, suicide, attempts at suicide, superstitious beliefs, blind faith, and the influence of black magicians. See, when you hear about the blind faith and influence of black magicians, you should think even now, even at this 21st century, what are we facing? We are actually, many people in rural areas are still in the hands of these black magicians. You might have heard about the news of a doctor, and you might have also heard about the news of a well-educated parents killing their children because they believed in these black magicians and these superstitious beliefs. You might have read in your newspapers. So you need to think. This is said in the light of olden days, which was in 15th or 16th century. We are still apart. We are in the 21st century. Still, we have these beliefs. We need to change that. We should have faith. We should have belief, but it should not be blind or it should not be superstitious. During that time, the circumstances for falling ill were many. The chance of small illness developing into a life-threatening disease was also high. So the church undertook the work of creating awareness among the people and giving them education and training. That was also important because people were unaware of the diseases. See, now in this time of COVID-19, we know what all things we need to do. What are the measures we need to do? Even the people in rural areas are being educated now. But during that time, no one was aware about the diseases. They used to roam around when an infectious disease was increasing. Because at that time, we didn't have much communication. systems and transportation systems. So that all were the reasons. So the church started creating some awareness among the people. The development in the field of healthcare that we see today owes its origin to the steps taken by foreign missionaries. See, it was not the missionaries in India, but the foreign missionaries who established these healthcare systems in India. The church came forward to establish hospitals, dispensaries, and gave training to nuns, sending them to distant countries, and also collected funds to organize activities related to healthcare. Now, let's see about another hospital, Manumail Hospital and Brother Nicholas. The first Christian hospital in Kerala is St. Joseph's Hospital in Manumail. This hospital was established by Brother Nicholas, a member of the Carmelite order, to serve the poor. He was a person who offered selfless service to everyone irrespective of caste and creed for the love of Jesus Christ. Vishaga Tirunal Maharaj honored him by presenting a diamond ring, and Srimulam Tirunal Maharaj presented him with a Veera Shrinkala, which is a golden armlet and a gold medal. See, you can see these kings or these emperors were not Catholics, but see the respect they have given to these people. Brother Nicholas was honored by two of the kings in Kerala. This shows the harmony of India in Kerala too. The hospitals under the Catholic Church were known for the service they rendered to poor, their deep faith in God, and their willingness to help their brothers and sisters who were suffering from various illness. The Manumail Hospital celebrated its centenary in 1988. That is, it was created in 1888, right? And so you have to note that name. It is Manumail Hospital, which was established by Brother Nicholas, and he got a lot of honor by the kings in Kerala. And this was the first Christian hospital in Kerala. That is St. Joseph's Hospital in Manumail. So children, I hope it's clear for you. There is nothing much to study in this chapter, as I told you earlier. What you need to understand is between the lines. You need to understand between the lines, the importance. Each line gives something to introspect. So just look into our society. Let's look into ourselves and change our mentality. If we have any different mentality towards the sick people, even now it's COVID time. If you think keeping the people who are affected with COVID by COVID is good, then you need to think. See, it's not a deadly disease. It's an infectious disease. When it comes and it goes, we have to take our measures, our safety measures. But it doesn't mean that you have to look them with some kind of distress. Okay? So, let's pray for the good for everyone. Let's pray for the sick. Let's pray for the suffering. So, by this, we are concluding today's session. We'll see you all next week. Thank you.